This shows John Moran trying to figure it out. Like your red line is conversion value. Your blue line is cost. Like you couldn't figure this out. This is marketing. This is advertising. We were on a client call this week. I was like, guys, it ain't easy. If it were, anyone could do it. A monkey could do it. Maybe back in 2015 on Facebook, like pretty much a monkey could do it. I mean, it was that easy, but not now. So take it away, John.
All right. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about what we were trying to do for a very long time. And what we have been trying to do is get our manual campaign or our tROAS campaign. We kept switching off between these two campaigns here to try to get one of them to scale profitably. We just couldn't do it. So when we're looking at our cost, I'm going to use all conversion value because everything just for what you'll see here is a importation of conversion action. So when I hit all conversion value, you'll be able to see that this is the conversion value is only featured one time in a very specific conversion action. I do that because typically if you look at all conversion value, you got like add to carts, begin checkouts, or all the other stuff. This is a lead generation strategy. And this one here, for example, is only on offline imports. So it's very clean. We're just counting conversions in one and not counting conversions in the other, and you'll see why. But watch this. We were trying on a manual campaign. We're like, all right, we can get this thing to spend upwards to like 2K per day, but we're at like a 1x return, like spending 22, making 21. Like that's not good. So we tried like different bid strategies. We tried, different search keywords, and we always were trying to get this thing to spend. We're like, okay, round two, like we think we got it better, and it got a little bit better, but then a little bit worse. So now we're spending $2,000 to make $1,500. We're like, crap, this thing is just not working. And so then we're like, well, let's try ROAS, and we're like, well, yeah, ROAS is great. We spend 3 to make 6. We spend 350 to make 476. Now we spent 169 to make 655. Great. This is trying to spend $1,500 a day, and we can never get above our max at $495. We were stuck. Like we just could not get this thing. So we're like, okay, switch back to manual. Like, let's try it again. So we shut it off tROAS, went back to manual. Okay, now we can scale, but now it is just not as profitable. So it went from, do you want profitability and low glass ceiling, or unlimited profitability, but unlimited spend? And your profit's only, maybe it's slightly better than your spend. So you don't have any sort of return. So you have to choose between, do you want traffic or do you want sales? And that's what Google has basically done. You want manual CPC? There's your traffic. You want sales? There's maximized conversions. Oh, you want profitable sales? There's tROAS, but you get your fair share. And that's what we got stuck in.
This chart, I just want to point this out to anybody who's watching this, is that this shows like John Moran trying to figure it out. Like your red line is conversion value, okay? Your blue line is cost. Like you couldn't figure this out. You started and this is marketing. This is advertising. We were on a client call this week. I was like, guys, this shit ain't easy. Like if it were, anyone could do it. A monkey could do it. Maybe back in
real time
2015 on Facebook, like pretty much a monkey could do it. I mean, it was that easy. But not now. Like this is much harder to figure all this stuff out. But I just want to point out that like that's a significant period of time. And this is your
back since June. So
and by the way, this is your own money, right? Because you're an affiliate here. This is you taking the hit.
Yep. So this is exactly like this is now like trying to figure this out, because it's the same way that we work with like clients. Like it's unless it's going to really work, I'm not going to start to push and scale. And if we do, we're there for like 5 days. I'm like, okay, that didn't work. Another 5 days. Okay, that didn't work. Like let's iterate quickly. But then you look at this graph over here on the right hand side where it's like, okay, $500 and $778, then $1,300 and $3,100. And we got 1,400. And what sucks is yesterday we're still waiting for OIC to come in, so we're expecting it to be somewhere up in here, because that's what it looks like, the offline conversions. We just don't get that until 4 p.m. PT, which is 7 p.m. ET today. It takes about 24 full hours for offline imports to show up. But the cool part is we can actually scale now, and you can see that the revenue is getting much better. Okay. So the way that we
are on this funnel, not to interrupt, but that's my job. Is that a lead for them, and being a former affiliate for years and years, like what is a lead? A submit form, or is it a qualification, or is it a sales qualified lead that actually talks to an individual? Like what is and then where do you get paid in that cycle?
Yep. So without giving with too much secret sauce, is we generate leads of people who are wanting to go to college.
Right.
And when that lead is qualified through a 10-step form, like past history, what's your age, what qualifications are you in the actual industry that we are trying to generate? Like this is actually a fairly hard lead to generate consistently and cheaply. And then we sell that to the schools and the schools pay us. And once they pay us, it goes back into Google.
Okay. So if they fill out the application and it meets their criteria
and gets accepted by the college
and gets accepted, then that offline conversion then happens within a 24-hour span.
Yeah, like. Give or take. Yep.
Okay. So very different than just filling out a lead form here. But so there's a multi-step process. Obviously you've got, and the offline conversion, is it automated or is it a manual upload? Like how do you guys actually get it?
Automated through API.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Just to work like.
And enhanced conversions with G-Clear, G-Braid, W-Braid. Like it's solid. It just takes a little while to get the last day and a half worth of data.
Got it.
But we already have it on our back end. We just know that was sold. It just needs to go through the whole cycle. So we know the same day by the end of day what we sold. And that's why I was so excited. We just got to get it imported. So here's the strategy. And this is where I tested scale. And this is where this gets really cool. So we weren't able to get to our $1,500 per day spend inside of our campaign of tROAS. And we're always limited by bidding strategy and we couldn't spend. And now what's nice is if we look at yesterday, now we're at spend. We couldn't go for the last 2 months. We couldn't get over 500. And now we're hitting the cost. And now we're actually asking for a 96 tROAS. And even without having all of the data back, we're already above that goal. If we had just the last 2 days where we have more data, we've more than doubled the goal of this here. So what's nice is now we're actually able to achieve a actual return on ad spend and scale it up to the full daily ad spend. The way that this is working is we have 2 campaigns. One is on a tROAS of 96. The other one is a manual that doesn't count conversions except for the offline imports in the secondary. And this is a secondary conversion action with a custom column I just call real ROAS. And this secondary conversion, the secondary conversion action is counting the same conversion though. So we have one primary, one secondary, but they are the same conversion action. It's just counted different by campaign. Okay. So that's the first segment is we want one campaign to have unlimited amount of scale and positioning and not be ever limited by Google's price fixing. And that's why it's on manual. And then that pre-qualifies all my traffic that this campaign is then going to try and scoop up. This will be all the warm traffic.
So it's like a 2-step, it's like a retargeting campaign, really.
Exactly. And here's what's funny is the reason why I called Jose's question out is because we know that in our tROAS and TCPA campaigns, Google is not so good in saying, I know that Ralph's first click won't convert, and I know that John's first click will convert. It doesn't know that. It can't predict it. What it does is it says, has Ralph clicked on our ad or another ad, and has Ralph converted yet? And if not, is Ralph still searching? And if so, who gets to now go after Ralph? Well, it's who's ever got the click first, because RLSA is now going to overbid for Ralph when Ralph comes back. Right. So Google does this. I'm going to take my one tROAS campaign and I'm going to spend $3 and Ralph's got a first click. Did it convert? No. Is Ralph still searching? Yes. So is Ralph searching the keywords that are looking for this topic? Like we know Ralph's searching for shoes right now, but is Ralph going to be searching for, how to get, hired by, or how to join a college soon? We think so. So we have your other money here, client. This is Google. We have all your money here. When Ralph comes back, I'm gonna spend it because I know that I can get the conversion, and that's how I predict your ROAS, and that's also why you can't spend. So it reserves its money for the people to come back so that it can predict the ROAS on their activity. The way that we've proven this is inside of, and I'm going to share screen again. Sure. The way that we've proven this is with other companies. We looked through Wicked and we looked at all of our non-brand like standard shopping and search These are all of the new visit percentiles. How is non-brand first click, quote unquote, campaigns getting 50% warm traffic? Well, they're all on tROAS and TCBA. They're all on restricted bidding strategies. So that's what's interesting is these are all on basically there's a catch-all, but like a tROAS, like these are all automated bidding. So that's why it's half warm traffic. That's why it can't spend. And that's why it will wait to predict what it can win, because it says, I'm waiting for these 6 people I know are going to convert any day now. Spend $1,500. No. I got 900 of that. I'm hanging on to it. I'm waiting. So what do? Well, you take a different campaign that's your manual campaign and you spike up your CPCs. You become the first person. I'm paying $484 in this manual campaign and $326 in this campaign.